For today's demonstration, we will be painting a tropical parrot. Our materials that we will be using will be some white paint and a cut-off pool noodle. We will also be using some black paint, red paint, yellow and blue paint, as well as a paintbrush, some water, and a paper towel. So to start, as a shortcut, what we do is stamp the pool noodle into the white paint and blot off excess paint. And what this is going to do is give us a starting point for our parrot. Once we have that in place, we will switch over to yellow paint. Start with a beak shape. And then add some yellow feathers around the head. Give yourself some space, basically about 2 to 3 fingers down from the bottom of the head, and start painting with yellow paint, going in a downward pulling motion. Wipe off any excess yellow paint on your paper underneath your painting. Wash it in the water. Wipe it off on a paper towel so that it is clean again, and switch to red paint. Starting with the top of the head, add some feathers, again using a pulling motion. It's okay if it blends in a little with the yellow paint. Leave a little space underneath the yellow part of the beak. Later on you'll be adding the lower half of the beak, which will be black. The red does extend along the side of the previously painted yellow and all the way down to the bottom of the paper. Clean the brush. Wash it in water. Wipe it off, and switch to blue paint. Working from the bottom up, clean off your brush. Wash it in the water. Dry it on the paper towel. And go back to some yellow paint. Pull from blue into the yellow. Wipe it off, wash, dry, and then back into the yellow. The reason for washing that is so that you don't contaminate the yellow paint with any residual blue or green paint that was on the brush. Wipe it off, wash, dry, and black paint. Fill in the circle that was left from the middle of the pool noodle with some black paint. And then go back to the beak. Add the bottom shape on the edge of the yellow to add to the top shape. Wipe off the brush, wash, dry, dip the very tip of the brush into a little bit of white paint. You want it to be very minimal, almost dry, and go back on top of the wet black paint. Allow it to blend. Clean it off completely. If you would like to add a little bit more texture to your feathers, you can go back in with white on your brush and very gently, almost like it's a dry brush, paint back in. A little bit of white in the feathers. If it gets too white or it mixes, like right here, you don't like it, you can clean your brush, go back, and just paint over it and blend it all in together. For really small details, the end of the brush is very useful. So for this, we're going to dip it into red and around the eye, almost like using it like a marker or a pen. And then wipe it off every time. And you can do the same. A little bit of white. And that's a basic painting of a parrot. You can then let this dry and go back in and add a background, a solid color, or a pattern, or a drawn background. Good luck with your parrot painting.